Taking no shorts. Coming right up.
We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man, I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's keep it going. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Imaginary clapping machine. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Taking No Shorts podcast. I'm your host, Jay Grizzy Green, a.k.a. Mr. Leave. Know me on the bone.
Exactly.
A.k.a. Wanda's son.
Exactly.
A.k.a. Jenny's grandson.
Exactly.
And a.k.a. Still running for president of all black Gen X's in America, in the world, in this universe, and on this plane. You dig? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, or help me like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. But also every Friday around this time, you can catch the live stream at the following streaming channels. That would be Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Taking No Shorts Pod. The @ is at the bottom of the chyron for you guys right there. And we got a lot to get into. This is episode 111. First of all, I'd like to thank the previous guests that have come over the last couple of episodes of the podcast. We did great numbers with those guests. So I want to give a big shout out to Marcus J. Big shout out to Harvard Blue, 51 Burt, Spaceship Studios, Pearls, Chubb, Ballfay, OG. I mean, I had and then also shout out to B and my guy. Oh boy, I'm doing so much tonight. My name is slipping. Your name is slipping me, but you're a regular guest here, man. I'm so sorry. Let's get into it tonight, guys, because I got it at the bottom of the chyron, and it says it's October. It's scary season, right? And I had a question. I got a question to pose to you guys out here in the listening audience. Are you afraid or scared yet? We are just about 9 months into this new regime, and stuff is getting crazy out there, is how they say.
Exactly.
It's not like it wasn't getting crazy before, right? But I don't know if it's me, but it just seems like, honestly, I thought January 6th was an acceleration.
A bullshit? A bullshit?
I thought it was an acceleration beyond proportions, but I'm going to try and take my time and not let you folks take too much of your folks' important Friday night prime time just to get something that I want to say and share with the universe off my chest. Let me first say, everything I'm saying is a representative of me, Jay Grizzy, and Jay Grizzy in and of itself and my properties. Yeah, dig. Like, nobody vouch for me. I speak for me and mine. And, it comes from a space of always from a space of love, but just from an informed person, like an informed person. A couple of episodes back, citizen. Let's do that. An informed citizen. I said all the whatever credentials I might have to say to be able to speak about this, but I was always into history, not as much politics, but just history, and did the whole, who am I, ancestral journey, how, bloodline, genes, genetic, that's what we live in. We live in these times now where the technology allows us to so-called find who our progenitors are. And there's been an acceleration. Now, as a Gen Xer, acceleration for me, or times have not, let me put it a better way, times have not seemed so dire as today. But then again, I'm speaking from my Black Gen X point of view, my Black Gen X American citizen experience, right? So I know that I'm one of 340 million, and that's not even the voting public. So let's say 100, let's say half of us voted. So let's say 370 or 200, let's say 170,000 of us voted. Million, I'm sorry, 1,000, I wish, or some other people wish. Good H2O. And I just, I'm speaking from my point of view, but I know my point of view being I'm on the coast, I'm in a blue state, or they try to claim it's purple. It's not, even though I got on purple tonight, but it's not. It's supposed, and I live in a blue area, you know. And I was fortunate enough to get a halfway decent education before the education system went to hell in a handbasket. And that's another thing I'm going to touch on tonight. As a Black Gen Xer, you did. Hey, what happened? Where did the time go? While we were out here living life, taking care of our kids, trying to, how they say on the Jeffersons, trying to, not just looking out of the window, trying to come up, trying to move on up. You know, when we was adults, just getting out here and touching a little bit of bread or making a family, we saw America in 2008 and 9, from 2008 and 9 all the way up to 2016, 17. We saw America move from, again, this is my perspective, so I also know that there's a certain percentage of the population is like, and that's the thing, they don't even, that was a tipping point in America. How that could be a tipping point in America for some to create an insurrection or to create some type of autocracy or to create some type of authoritarianism is how one of the online comedians say, is beyond me. One election of one citizen, although very historical, created, in my opinion, this. It wasn't nobody's fault, by the way. It's just a natural progression of decency, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Of democracy, so-called. Are we scared yet? Oh, let me fix that. Because the banner, let's do that. I got on my vision, my glasses tonight. They not the meta joints. I mean, God, I can go on and on for that. But I got on they readers, but they like enhanced readers. I don't even know if that's a thing, but to see the monitor, the camera monitor is further back is a struggle. First time tonight. I know that's a little bit, y'all don't care about that, but anyway, are y'all scared yet? I mean, they did they said that, I mean, literally they said, and Vice President Harris told you last year during the campaign, what, I mean, everybody spelled it out. And everybody, it makes me wonder, like, did everybody ask for this? Like, did the majority of the country ask for this? And I know, if you ever watched Taking No Shorts pod before, or the guests or the folks that are of my ilk or hang out with me, you know, some of y'all are saying, Jay, stop acting like this is like you shocked and surprised. Well, in my Gen X years, there has been a lot of shocks. I'm gonna try to list them for you. All right. Um, shock. For me, as a black Gen Xer growing up, what was a shock that affected me like stuff is affecting me now? Shock. Okay. Space Shuttle, 86. Because you saw it on TV. Like newscasts. Back then, news, times now, news is right at your fingertips on your phone, on your device, or whatever, right? But back in 86, when the space shuttle accident happened, I think I was in school, and they literally had, brought the TV into the classroom. No, it was Reagan being shot. That was the first one. Didn't shock me, but it was just like, why? Now that I think about it, I was in the third grade. Reagan got shot. They literally brought the TV into the classroom, put the news on, like learning for the day stopped, and we watched students, third graders, which third graders, 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, I don't know. And we watched attempted murder, attempted unaliving. I'm sorry, I don't know what the right word is, but yeah, attempted unaliving of a U.S. president on a loop in third grade, 9-year-old. All right, really, America? As the Burning Mike say, really, America? That's what y'all gonna do? Or some folks might say it ain't America. It's just where you were, specifically that teacher or whatever. But even still, I didn't need to see that shit. I ain't even need to know about it. And I'm in the hood. I'm going to one of the best schools in the city as an elementary school kid through busing or desegregation or whatever. And I still didn't want to see that. And then when I got home, we get to see it again. So that was shocking. Early, 9, 10 years old. Fast forward about 4 or 5 more years, and space shuttle, same thing. Middle school now, space shuttle blow up, bring in the TV, show the kids how people blowing up. Next thing, high school, shock was a shock. Doug Wilder won, the first black governor to be voted in the South since Reconstruction, or really ever, I think, ever. I don't even think, I know we had a senator from Mississippi back then, but governor. That and Berlin Wall fell. Again, growing up as a Gen Xer, communism was the big red menace. They had all kinds of movies, all kinds of stuff they made around that, and nuclear war was on the horizon, scared the living daylights out of everybody, kids included. You had Red Dawn. Shout out to that movie, Wolverines. Then 9/11. So the 90s was, strangely enough for me, I don't think nothing. I'm sorry. LA riots and Waco. Now, I don't know what the progression is I'm getting to by making these points, but there are certain things that happen in a person's lifetime. They remember where they were when it happened, or if they paying attention to how it affects the nation's psyche, or what is it that I'm just describing to you where we at, where I think we are as a country, and So yeah, LA riot was a big deal, but even then, it's not as. And I put LA riots right compared to right now. That's 9/11 is up there, top. 9/11 and January 6th for me is up there as holy shit. What the is going on? What is going on? And that's not saying that lightly. Who wants to live? I mean, I used to live in New York. I used to live in a lot of places where if you never lived those places before, there's certain things that you are aware of that you're not. Like living in Virginia, there's certain things like I was telling somebody who I was met not too long ago, and we found out that we used to live in Brooklyn, and he lives in Virginia as well now. And I was like, aren't you relieved we don't have to wake up to move our cars every morning? Alternate street cleaning, parking. If you had to move your car so they could clean the street. If not, you got a ticket or they told you shit. And that's just nothing in Virginia or where we live at. You're not thinking like that's not something you got to worry about as an everyday Joe Schmo. And yeah, I was just like, so yeah, 9/11, Waco, Rodney King, riots. Then you had Bush War. It's just like seems like for the last for the last 40 years, the country been like this on some razor's edge of type of fuck. Like they trying to fuck everything up. Is what I'm saying. For what? For what? So here we are. So we're in October. It's scary season. Are you scared yet? I hope this is reaching everybody out in the universe, whether it's ours or elsewhere. But I know if you live on the south side of Chicago, and I ask you this question, you could be like, some people gonna be like, I ain't scared, but shit look a little sketchy. I just saw today on my timeline, they're arresting journalists now. Might come in here and get. I mean, it's scary season. Are you scared yet? I mean, I know that's what some parties want us to, as a population to be. So I'm trying so hard not to, because it's taking no shorts. But I'm trying so hard not to talk politics, but just to talk like like regular. But honestly, we not at regular time. And I know the vibes and the theme is coming off like, oh shit, it's doom and gloom. Like when is the next? But we are now. I just gave you a 40-year trajectory of like what I saw just in my lifetime because I pay attention to stuff just normally. Like what is being ramped up right in front of our faces. I want the audience to think about what I just said. Like, think about how many years your creator gave you on this rock and all those significant moments that if you was paying attention to the culture, society, or the country, like what were those moments? And compare that to like what's happening now. Hit me in the comments and let me know. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Well, just Facebook and YouTube are the comments I can get. Twitch and TikTok, I can't get to those right now. But Did I forget a fucking pandemic?
A bullshit?
I mean, did I? That is just within the last half century. Some of it's just within the last 30 years, 20. 20, as a matter of fact, 20 years ago is 2005.
Holy Jesus.
I mean, it ain't that long ago. It seems like, when I tell people my age and people see or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but I also say to myself, like, where's all this time going? I'm going to talk about that in just a few here at Taking No Shorts podcast. This is episode 111. I'm your host, Jay Grizzly Green, a.k.a. Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bone. It is scary season. Are you concerned yet? I shouldn't say scared. That's just one of those taglines you put at a Chiron or something to get folks to get eyes on us, to capture your attention. That's what the main news does. Breaking news. If I hear that shit one more time, just for a click, all I got to do is say breaking news, edit it, and just put it out. I bet you my pinky toe. I think I can walk. TikTok, can I live if I lose my pinky toe? I know somebody. I know at least 3 people who don't have a pinky toe no more, probably, because they either hit it on the edge of a end table or something, broke it, and no circulation got to it, and they just fine. So I bet my pinky toe. If I say right now, breaking news, just clean it up, edit it, put a clip out, whatever, and actually put some motion behind that shit, I bet you. Matter of fact, I could say something stupid. I'm looking over here to see if the comments are coming in. I could say something crazy that's not even true. Breaking news. So and so did what, and so said what, and this is going to happen, or this is what I predict, or let's come up with some fucking crazy ass conspiracy theory. Breaking news. Clip it up, put it out. Keep saying it every day. Pay the companies to put it in your feed every day. It'll pay off. I'll be one of these numbnuts.
A bullshit?
I would. I wouldn't do it, and if that's what you're looking for here, please click that away or that away or that away or that away. Click. Too old for it, as you can see. I don't even know why. Let me say this, and I let me get my little bit of a script I had out. I said, I'm realizing I'm a man from a different time. That's saying a lot for me. If you know me, I was always the last guy in my group of social friends to do anything, get married, settle down, to mature. So, I'm realizing, I'm realizing that I am no longer the man I thought I was. I am now a man from a different time. The different time was I can, when I was coming up, we used to hear stories. Gen Xers used to hear stories from boomers and Big Mama and them. We used to have to walk because it was segregation. No buses. One school or 2 schools for a lot of people. And if you had bad weather, you still had to go to school to make your marks, make your grades, right? So we had to walk 3 miles in the snow to get to school. Raise your hand, hit me in the comments if you ever heard one of your grandparents or your parents as a Gen Xer tell you that. I know I did. And nowadays, our kids, Gen X kids who are the Z's and the Y's and kids that's just been out the house for most of our kids now should be out the house. I know some might still be in, but grew up with cell phones. It was the little QWERTY flip phones, the ones that I remember my wife was like, we're at the Sprint store. Sprint's no longer with us. Get one of those phones. I don't know what that was. And it was a phase where everybody wanted the joint that clicked up when you had the QWERTY keyboard. My kids were middle schoolers. So when I was in middle school, just again, when I was your age, we walked 3 miles in the snow to get to where we had to go to school. When I was in 7th grade, we were lucky if we got 3-way on the landline, right? Or 2-way on the landline.
Exactly.
And if you had a house like me where I had a bunch of sisters and a whole bunch of boys trying to call, can you see? Oh, well, wait till I see my sisters, and if they watch it tonight, I don't know how I remember one time the phone was so occupied in our house. This is definitely a Gen X story. The girl I was courting, the girl I was courting at the time, our phone was jumping so much because we only had one phone in the house, one phone number, and one landline, right? And so I had 2 sisters and a cousin. All of us are between we're all a year apart in 4 years. So me, boom, a year. My sister, boom, a year. My baby sister, a year. My cousin, my slash sister, a year. So that phone was jumping. And so little old me, if I had to get my play in to, I had to go to the payphone down around the corner on the opposite end of the block. Put my quarter in, talk through my Mackin, and go home. But that's how we did it. And I know it sounds crazy, especially if it's for the TikTokers. What is a landline? What is that old dude looking like? Somebody, my homeboy Tim said, man, you look like, God damn, what's the, uh, he used to wear a blonde, big, tall guy. I forgot his name. I forget a lot of people's names tonight. And Joey Boombox. I'm sorry, Joey.
Exactly.
If, Joe Skates earlier. I was too busy getting stuff straight with the podcast, but Joe VA Skates is a contributor as well to the podcast. If y'all remember what I was talking about earlier, RuPaul. Tim said I look like RuPaul. I'm gonna get it together tonight, guys. I promise you. But yeah, our kids grew up with cell phones. Middle school. So middle school, I was 12, 13, 14, right? So I know how old my kids are now. Add another 10 years on top of that of technology and the technology companies, including ones that I'm using right now to see me and to, shout out to my sister Shani. I got your very shout. I had my button. They took all of my stuff. October 18th, make sure you hit me up on my page. Support my sister's breast cancer walk we're doing next Saturday. Love you, Shani. Yeah. So I remember when I first started doing social media back in 2008, 7. I say 7. I'm going to say 7, maybe 8. That's 17 years of what are you doing on Facebook? I think they were asking you in your status, like, Everybody was doing. I'm at the movies. I remember putting that. I remember going to see a James Bond movie in 2008. I forgot what it was called. Quantum of Solace, right? And I remember I went by myself. The movie was horrible. Real bad James Bond movie. I don't know, thank God I didn't take my wife. She'd have looked at me like I was crazy. Like, fuck you, bring me up in here. This is
A bullshit?
Quantum of Solace. And I posted, I'm telling the world where I'm at. Why I did that, I don't know. Why am I fucking doing the podcast? I mean, I know why I'm doing it, but here we are. Here we are. And what has it gotten us? I say us as a country, as a citizenry, as a people, if we are people. What is it? Where are we? I'm asking the chat. Where are we? I know we're in October. It's scary season. Are you worried yet? Not scared? Not concerned? Because I know when I wake up in the morning, I hear birds chirping. You know, it's a nice time. These in between seasons, the between spring and summer and fall is the best weather where I live at. The best weather. It's not too humid. You wake up, it's not too cold. Don't get too hot. I wake up, I get a fresh cup of coffee. I, go to work and make money and do the podcast. And I see. I've clicked off the news since a year ago. Now I'm noticing, like, not that I was trying to get back into mainstream news or keeping myself abreast of stuff, but it when it got like this, it's coming back on my goddamn radar. And I'm saying to myself, like I said plenty of times before, what the hell is what's going on? I know. Some folks might say, don't worry about what you can't affect, or people gonna do what they gonna do. I don't know why. Something about historical change, because I'm aware of historical changes, I think, more than the average citizen. And I see stuff. And I ain't got an agenda like the news, like the major news agencies, when they say breaking news, blah, 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 blah. Like, I ain't got no angle. I'm not trying to milk or what all these influencers do now, get a check to propagate their point of view. I'm just a guy doing a podcast, a black Gen Xer, just, wanting my voice to be heard and other people to resonate with it. And I'm hoping this resonates with other people organically. No power no power machine behind, no money, no lobbying type. Like, nobody paid me. I saw something today. They say they giving influencers, and I know TikTokers out here know about this. They giving people that have the ability, that got an audience now, and I got a bit of an audience. Not gonna give y'all all the numbers because it ain't on y'all damn business. No, appreciate everybody that's listening and watching. But I mean, since I put out episode 1, Taking No Shorts has done this. It ain't never did that. So they giving out checks, like 5-figure checks, 6-figure checks, to people that's doing what I'm doing right now. But they got to toe a line and say some political crazy ass shit, some conspiracy. They got to play that effing part. and I don't need to check. I mean, that would be stupid. Of course, everybody needs, or everybody, especially at these economic times, everybody could use a little bit extra to go along the way. But at what cost? Cost and money is cost, and that is two different things. Like, at what cost? Like, and that's trying to tie back into what I was saying earlier. I'm a man of a different time. You know, we live in a time where people will, not to say that people weren't doing crazy stuff back then for a bag, but at the cost and the consequences doing when you got this thing called social media that can exponentially touch and influence a lot of stuff. That's why it's called influencer. If you can't put that device down and you open it up, and every time you see this handsome face, if I chose with the right backing to tell you a bunch of shit, guess what? You're going to be a sponge. You're going to get it.
That nigga's tripping.
Yeah. It's going to start. You're going to, next thing you know, you're going to have a talking point. I didn't gave you a talking point. You're not even talking for you now. I'm making you say I'm making you feel how you want to feel. Me, Mr. Social Media. You're no longer independent. I know everything about you. They tell me based off of what you offer. You have to, I think, here's what I say. You have to empower. This is going to be in the information that we're already in the information age, right? But the currency is information, not money. There are bigwigs who run the information, and then you got the way you take control, in my opinion, is you got to limit all that crazy shit. Like one time, I just block. When I say block, I'm saying I'm not watching that. That 6 o'clock network news, I'm not watching that. I'm not putting these major cable news networks on a loop. For what? To jet up. If you go to some channels that got sued for like I think it's 800 billion. I'm not quite sure, but it was almost $1 trillion because the lies was just unfriggin' believable. How are you gonna make the payout? Maybe they don't even know if they're gonna make the payout. There are people that pay a lot of money to propagate lies to you and willing to pay it, apparently. They'll fight it, be like, yo, we really don't want to pay Dominion voting machines because we lied about what happened in 2020 that damn near caused insurrection and January 6th and all that. Like, we really don't want to pay that money. We're going to argue that we didn't cause that, but if y'all find that we did, we got that. That's small change.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, that's small change. We got that. We got some more. Because you know why? We're going to go out there and say some more crazy ass shit and dare you to come now because the courts might be, everything is fugazi. Everything is fugazi. There was a time, again, go back to I've come to the realization I'm a man of a different time. I came from an era where facts mattered. You could have an argument or you could have something escalate on the bus on the way home. you got on some fake Jordans, or your mama wear combat boots, or whatever. But guess what? You had to get off that bus at the bus stop, and we're going to see if your mouth is good as your hands is. That was how we grew up, Gen Xers. You just if you had something to say, you had, by all means, you had the right to say it. But there were consequences if you were saying some crazy ass shit to the wrong type of people or the wrong person. And there was rules and regulations. Now it ain't. That's so that social media, Facebook, Instagram, all this right here, ain't nothing. You could say something, a bot could say something. It might not even be. Guess what? This ain't even. I just told y'all. My name is Jay Grizzly Gray, aka Mr. Leave No Meat on the Bone, and I got something to tell you. Episode 111. This ain't even me. I'm AI. I'm not even a real motherfucker right now. The words that are coming out of my mouth, they not my words. Somebody told me to say them to you.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
But if y'all keep fucking around, putting out Biggie and Tupac wrestling promos, the good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King out here, y'all use it, whoever's doing it. I don't know, I say y'all, but who's to say it's not being manipulated right now? I know what I'm saying right now, but I don't know what y'all getting. I can hear what I'm saying, but somebody hack this shit and chop it up and make it look like it's me and make my mouth move a certain way. And next thing you know, I'm on the front fucking page. Black Gen X podcaster said blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to be like,
a bullshit?
That nigga's
A
tripping.
bullshit? A bullshit.
yeah. I would be like, wait a minute, I ain't say that. Give me a lawyer. Like, yo, my dude, I ain't say that shit. I know, we're going to have to, you got the money to fight this? That's where we at. Well, you questioning everything. And I came from an era where shit, you could question stuff, but if you did certain shit, this is how it's gonna play out for you. Like we came up in the crack game. I didn't come up in the crack game. Like I was too scared. Cause I knew if I respected things and saw enough things that, hey, the street life has got a different code. So if you go that route, you got to live your life by that code. If you break that code, but two endings for you, death or incarceration. Ain't no in between. And you might be lucky to get up out of that game, the street game, without breaking the code. You still might be lucky to be alive, to count your blessings to get out. So that's how I came up. Like you had to have a certain kind of respect for stuff that could get you caught up. And all of that is dead. That is done. You can say, I think one of the cabinet members said autism was caused by something crazy, to the point because I am affected by that, because I have a loved one that's affected by that. I felt insulted. And he just saying crazy shit like it's nothing. Not thinking about how it's affecting people that it might affect. I'm looking over here, so if my eyes go like that, guys, forgive me. But it takes me to talking about this point I wrote down, and I wanted to say it. I want to make sure I don't mess this up. But Don't let me sip my water before I tell y'all this. It's a I'm sure because as long as I've been trying to do comedy, write comedy, perform stand up comedy or whatever back in the day, you don't want a joke thief. That's a no. But I'm sure, I was coming up with this, but I'm sure if I came up with another comic and came up with and probably put it up and worked on a bit. But don't trust anybody that tell you they don't wash their feet. Let me say that again. Don't trust anybody that tell you they don't wash their feet. Some people say, "Well, I don't wash my feet because when I'm in the tub, washing, taking a shower, or taking a bath, the soap already running down my leg, and I bet you need to scrub your feet, or sir, or you need to scrub your feet. You got husk on your feet like this, thick. Why? Scrub your feet." And the reason I say don't trust nobody that tell you that, I don't know why they would tell you in a conversation or whatever, but
Exactly.
they tell you that you find out they don't wash their feet because they'll walk right over your ass with no problem. They don't mind getting their shit dirty. They have no problem. Meanwhile, like I said, there's two type of people in the world. People that wash their feet when they take a bath, and people who don't wash their feet when they take a bath. And for whatever reason, they tell you that they don't wash their feet. Don't trust them. They will walk over you. They have no problem getting their feet dirty. They don't have no problem getting anything dirty. They can find a reason. If they can tell you, fuck, I need to wash my feet for. Soap is already down there. I've literally heard that before. I'm not going to tell you who told me, but, you can only guess. They don't mind getting their feet dirty. There is probably 30 to 35% of the country that don't mind what's going on right now. There's a third of the country that could care less what happened in Chicago. There's a third of the country that could care less what's happening with these raids. There's a third of the country who could care less that they pulling up in elementary school bus loops. I was a parent that was looking forward back in those days when my kids were in elementary school. I would look forward when I had the opportunity to pick them up from school. Go through the loop, you wait in line, you seeing all the traffic or whatever. You see all the kids happy. Where are we? What we?
Abortion?
Holy Jesus.
What we doing, man? There are people in the world that don't wash their feet when they wash. They don't mind getting their shit dirty. Matter of fact, the dirtier the better. I'll never understand those people. It's not my job to understand those people. I just point out that there's two type of people in the world. I care about children. I don't care where they come from, who my parents are, what they look like. There are two types of people in this world. People who do, people who don't. I just laid out earlier in the podcast where I have realized that I am a man from a different time. And I kind of explained a little bit why I feel like that. Because there was a right and a wrong. If you live your life right, and who's to say what's right, but we all know, like, if you're living your life in a way where your family loves you, your community loves you, you're respected, et cetera, you're living your life right. I'm not here to judge how you live it. That's not me. That's not my role on this in this universe. You know, what I'm saying is there are people in this world who would see a child leaving elementary school, their parent picking them up, thinking a regular day, and you got masked. Lord, how I said masked. That's my speech impediment I had when I was growing up. I don't think sometimes it rears its head a little bit. I didn't ride nothing wrong with riding the short bus, but took one speech class, okay?
Exactly.
But people run up on you when you in a semicircle to pick up your child and pulling you up out the car, or it's 3 a.m, people are jumping in your building, and by what the witness account said, the media, because you never, I don't know, you never know when it says by witness accounts or sources say, but they say F them kids, allegedly. These are kids, children. Let alone, we're not going to talk about what's been happening overseas and stuff. We're not doing that. There's two kinds of people in the world, in my opinion. Those that wash their feet when they clean themselves, and those that don't wash their feet when they bathe and clean themselves. Because they don't mind getting dirty. They feet. They don't mind stepping on some stuff. Get a comment here real quick. Shout out to Shy E. Say, my brother, I have a show to go tonight, so I'm going to watch tomorrow. You haven't called me. Give B and Tim my number. Love you, bro. Enjoy your comedy show, bro. All right. You gonna call me out on the pod like that, bro. You right, though. I ain't called you black ass or your light skin. I get it. I'm gonna get up with you sooner than you think. It's scary season. Do you understand yet? It's scary season. Shit is going down. I don't want to use Paul Revere. I want to imagine an ancestor. They either, whether they're in the house or out in the field, and there was some scuttlebutt, right? If anybody don't know what scuttlebutt mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm old, you know. There are some people who know how to do scuttlebutt or gossip or innuendo, rumor, keep it quiet, because if it get out, it might harm the majority of us on Mr. Candy's property. I use Mr. Candy a lot because I always saw that scene in Django where they all got on the hoods and shit and torches and anyway. Are you concerned? I'm not here to alarm anybody. That's not my job. Because what's gonna happen is gonna happen. That I firmly agree. I just think that I don't think citizens give themselves enough credit. And citizens and its leaders are not meeting the moment that's being presented to the country right now. We ain't too far from losing this thing. And I say we because my ancestors was brought into it. So we here. Dr. King say, I fear my people is integrating into a burning house. Said that 50 to 60 years, or 60 years ago, roughly. They unalived him. But his words that I try to, and I always try to, like, because I wasn't born yet, think back to, like, how was life like? What would people be living like? You know, and I would ask my elders and my, that I could actually physically talk to and stuff. And, black folk, for the most part, in my space, was like, we gonna do what we got to do. And I'm gonna say this, my wife is gonna kill me. Irregardless. Irregardless. Even though irregardless is not a word. Irregardless. I don't even, could somebody in the chat tell me where irregardless come from? Because that's, but here's what I say to us, right? We grew up, at least me, I grew up integrating, school-wise, integrated. Socially, by the time I got to college, integrated. As an adult, integrated. Friends, social networks, things of this nature, like, so, and not a sucker by no means.
Exactly.
Don't do that. But I want to say Wayne Brady. Definitely not Wayne Brady. Yeah, dude. So I'm under the impression, like, especially after 2008 and 9, not like my kids, but not like Kumbaya, but I'm like, okay, smarter heads after Son Bush, Second Gulf War, 9/11. All right, smarter people after the 2008 crisis, 8/9, where the housing crisis, everybody, people that I know couldn't rub two nickels together to start a fucking fire bought a house. I'm sitting there living with my mama like, hold the fucking phone. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. I don't think I was living with my mom. I was living with me and my wife. We weren't husband and wife, but we had an apartment. And I'm sitting there like, yo, what is we doing wrong? Niggas, I know these. Anyway. I two type of people in this world. Now I don't know how many children are in the U.S. because they don't vote. I'm sure they got plenty of nonprofits and institutions that protect them. But I mean, there's plenty of stuff that they've seen from Columbine. I use another one that was a flashpoint. Columbine in Oklahoma City. Those were in the 90s too. You see, it goes. Let me get my hand to go that way. All right, it goes like that, like the escalation. Like just when you think America can't do no crazier shit, here we go. I wouldn't be surprised if you cut on the television or you'll pick up your phone tomorrow and some crazy, like to the point where you become numb. And if you tell me you're not numb now, I'm not going to call you a liar. I'm just going to say you're not in touch with your feelings.
Exactly.
Because every time, and that's why I checked out of the main news, because when I hear breaking news, dun, 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 just first of all, the dun, 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 that lets you, that to me, for somebody who's dealing with all that, like dun, 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 like, oh shit, what? What the fuck? Breaking news, what? What's fucking breaking? To keep you on edge 24/7. It's not just me. If you understand what I'm talking about, him in the chat at Jake, oh look, at Facebook, at Taking No Source Pod, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Is the news even work? I mean, like, you know what? I just used to do the headline, and that was it. I don't even do it anymore because I felt myself this week when I was watching these people, the elites. Let's call them what they is. They elites. They people who don't know what it's like. They don't even go to the grocery store. They get people that do know what it's like to go to the grocery store to vote for them because they like to separate us, and that's what they do. That's what politicians do. You separate so you can gain power over your so-called enemies, what they call people. How can you call your fellow citizen an enemy? Not just me. I know why they. I know why they. Some people will call me the enemy. I know. You know, as hard as I try to assimilate and integrate and everything, I understand why you still would call me an enemy. But it's your own folks from within. 400, 500 generals was told, get ready to fight an enemy within. It's scary season. Trying to find another synonym for afraid or scared. Are you wigging out yet? Are you losing your fucking mind yet? No, I'm not. Because again, what will be, will be. I just want to point out, in case folks who see this on their timeline will watch the whole episode at Facebook and YouTube, at Taking No Shorts Pod and at JAYGRIZZO, Jay Grizzo. Like, yo, what does that old man talk about? It's like the dude at the end of New Jack City, during New Jack City. Shout out to that actor. I forgot he just transitioned this, I think last year.
Exactly.
The old man, shut down, old man. You don't know what you're talking about. That's what the youngins on TikTok is saying to me. I'm on TikTok live tonight, third live stream at Taking Those Shorts Pod. Shut up, old man. You don't know what you're talking about. We like our TikTok. They just sold it to somebody to suppress. Like, if you really trying to get some motion or some movement going, there's powers that be that will make sure that shit won't come out. Everybody knows you can get shadow banned. I had went from like 10,000 clicks, interactions in like a 2-day period to like half of that. And I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. I honestly thought the content was good, you know. And I was just like, "How? What happened?" And the next thing I know, I look back at the last clip I did in between that, and I take that back. That's a lie. I did do something. I put out a different clip that maybe they said, "Well, I'm down defeating my own point." Maybe the clip wasn't that good.
Exactly.
Maybe the clip wasn't that good. Don't trust nobody who tell you they don't wash their feet when they take a bath. Talking about what the soap running in between my toes right now. You a lie. That's soap. You got to put some kinetic energy, how my people say, between that jelly, in between your toes. See what I'm doing right here? You got to take the, and it's a washcloth. Somebody spell washcloth for me. Not cloth. Washcloth. LOFF. My wife is going to kill me. She say, please stop talking like a slave. You say, put some friction in the washcloth and get in the crevices of your feet. I say cloth, bro. You say cloth. Hey, we know about feet, right? First of all, let me clear that up so it won't be an inside joke, Shahi. But that is an inside college joke. But there are some people who don't wash their feet, and I'm using the metaphor that they will walk all over you. They don't value cleanliness first and foremost, but you can't trust them. They'll walk over anybody. They got no problems not passing a bill to protect children from getting unalived in a school, elementary school. The money is so great. Somebody say, don't pass this bill. Look the other way. Meanwhile, kindergartners, don't pass this bill. Look the other way. Meanwhile, federal workers. Yeah, sir. If I think it's not even furloughed. I mean, all of this is planned. Thank God I'm not a federal worker, and thank God if things have a downturn, I work in a sector that's definitely going to be affected by an economic downturn, and I don't want that. But I know people that personally have been affected by what's happening right now in the shutdown, and people, those people bills ain't stopping. You know what I mean? Like those people, carnos, insurance, groceries, and everything ain't stopping. They don't care about you. It's two people in the world. The people that don't wash their feet don't give a fuck that you got to pay your mortgage. And so what we gonna do about it is what, the next thing I say or pose, a question I pose to the audience. Because we are now at the point, because we don't got the courts, at least the Supreme Court. We don't have the lobbying money. All we got now, and I think people know it, is all we got now is the midterms, because the presidential is over. The Constitution say we got to have a midterm, and in order to try to interdict, stop, postpone, delay, affect, don't call out, prevent that from happening, which is the last power you, Mr. and Mrs. American voting citizen, the only franchise you got now. People have Well, let me get a little bit closer to the camera and straighten my back out as I wrap up a little bit tonight, or try to wrap up. Pause. Some of you, other 2/3, not talking about the 1/3 of the country, all right? 2/3 of the country, some of you have the ability to stop this. You had one opportunity to stop it, but you know what's done is done.
Exactly.
Now you got to show out, because who knows who's going to show up at your polls come this time next year. You might have the masked ones, the National Guard, or the actual U.S. military on your corner, at your church, at your post office, at your polling precinct. You think I'm making it up, but they said that, couldn't happen. I do not want to be an alarmist. Again, I have gotten in and would hope that my creator gives me more years on one rock, around one sun, around a lot of stars, around a lot of universes. I hope when I wake up, I pray when I wake up tomorrow that my feet touch solid ground. But I know that what they doing ain't gonna stop what's gonna happen. It kind of sounded like a little cryptic, but I don't mean I don't want to sound cryptic. I just want y'all to know there's two people in the world, in this world. People who wash their feet when they take a bath or a shower, and people who don't wash their feet when they take a bath or take a shower. I went into a long, drawn out explanation on what that means, and you can go back, rewind, catch it all out there at episode 111 of Taking No Shorts podcast. But I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Before I wrap up tonight, I wanted to talk about some misinformation that's been out there, that some folks that wear the tinfoil hat. Stop with all that spreading that conspiracy. I thought we was done with the conspiracy theories. Whatever happened to what's the shit that happened during the election? QAnon and all that. Stop. Why everything got to be a conspiracy? Do you know how hard it is to pull off a conspiracy? Now, I'm not saying shit can't happen. People of that's got a lot of power, got a lot of stroke, pause, got a lot of pull. They can maneuver and make shit happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, for some of the shit that I heard y'all say it is possible, it takes a damn near David Copperfield type of magic for that shit to happen, and y'all need to stop it. You contribute to the situation in the country with the misinformation. Just because you got a phone, just because you got a Twitter or X account, or you got the ability to say something out in the world, don't mean you got to say it. Like I said earlier, where I come from, yeah, you got the right to say whatever you want to say, but just know that shit come with some receipts, and sometimes that receipt could be, somebody got to check you. And the world has got so crazy now, people can't get checked. Trust me, if I say it's so crazy, I know people in the chat right now will be like, whoa, my nigga, like, yo, you tripping, stop it. That's just me, though. That's just me. I know everybody not like me. Everybody didn't grow up like me. Everybody is not a black Gen Excellence like me.
Exactly.
Y'all grew up in a different time. Some of y'all are different. It's okay in some instances, but y'all fucking up the world and the country. Wash your goddamn feet. This is episode 111. I'm your host, Jay Grizzly Green. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back next week. Peace.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding. I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzly.